Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, you might want to watch it. In this video, we're gonna clean up the E, and we're gonna make our hearts cuttable and engravable. So I stated in the first video that there's too much E sticking out, and you won't be able to see it. The L, I could do the same thing, but I'm not going to in this video because it'd be exactly the same. I'm gonna take my Smart Fill tool, I'm gonna fill in that little section. I'm going to move it out of the way, and I'm going to left click, right click, and I am going to turn it right now into something thicker than a hairline. And I'm also going to scale with object in case we're going to make it bigger. Now I can cut this away, and it will not cut it, but I have this item right here. And even though it's going to engrave that part that's already been cut, it doesn't really matter. Well, matter of fact, that would matter because that's going to look like it stopped. So let's do this. Let's nudge it out of the way. Let's go to the shape tool and let's select these two nodes and let's right click and break apart. Then real carefully try to figure out which line you need to take away, and I happen to hit the right one and delete that. And now we can nudge that back over. And that is going to engrave, but it's going to look like the letter. So now we need to do the same thing. Well, we need to do one more part to this E so it won't cut out. But we need to do the same thing to like these lines because we don't want this to cut out. So what we can do is grab this heart and nudge it out of the way and Control D and make a duplicate of it and nudge it up. Put it back over there, and now we can cut these lines that are going to be duplicated because we do not want the laser to cut that out. We're also going to have to do something down here, but that's beside the point. And I think we're going to have to make a duplicate of this top one. Let's nudge it out of the way. Control D and make a duplicate of it, and then put it back. Now we can get rid of these lines. So what is going to happen is going to cut, and you'd really have to look what's the deal in the middle, and we could change that shape because you don't want it cutting that. There we go. Now that'll be, and you could actually probably have this in the middle and then do the same thing with the virtual segment delete key and just delete. Well, no, because that kind of gets rid of the shape of the heart. But you could do what I'm going to do on the other part. So let's just leave it like that right now because it kind of looks cool. You could have it dip down. I'm looking at the other drawing. Whoop, I've got too many nodes selected. You could do that, and you could right click and change these to curves and then curve this around. That's not going to look good. I don't know why that won't give me a curve. But anyway, I don't like the way it looks, so I'm going to keep it like it is. We'll just get back. Anyway, but now we need to make these lines that are going to go through here that make it look like two hearts. And I can't really remember. So this is the one that is going to have the two lines. So what I'm going to do right now is Control G to group this together. And I'm going to change these to black. And I'm going to go ahead and change them to something other than a hairline. And the other one we put 0.75 and scale the object. Now I'm going to nudge this back over. Hopefully we'll be able to cut. You know what? Let's back up. Let's lock this item so we can't touch it. Go up to Object and Lock. Now we can move this back and we can hopefully cut. Yes, it's working. We can cut all these other lines that we do not need. And because we got it locked, it's pretty cool. So now This is going to engrave and it's going to make it look like a heart on top of a heart. So we need to do the same thing to this one. Let's make it black, 0.75 a point, and scale with object. If you don't understand what that is, there's a lot of videos out there. So we've still got everything locked, or everything we need locked, and now we're going to get rid of these lines, because these are engravable lines. We don't want to mess up the two we got. And I hope that kind of makes sense what I'm doing. So the black is going to engrave, so it looks like these hearts are intertwined. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, this is part 2. I'm going to do one more to do text to path on something that's a little weird. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.